Hello everybody and welcome back to yet another video. Today's video is really exciting, but before I tell you what we are doing and where we are, you probably looked at the title, which is self-explanatory, but we are currently at Emerald Ranch. The reason I am mentioning Emerald Ranch is not only because it's where we are starting off, is because this place holds a very special place to my heart, because it's actually where I spent most of my childhood and I took my first ever horseback riding lesson. But before I get into anything else, I am going to go ahead and show you the trail riding route that we are going to be doing. So, for those of you that don't know, I live near Little Creek River. I'm currently renting out a little ranch there. But Little Creek River and Emerald Ranch is quite a ways away from each other, because Little Creek River is in West Elizabeth, northwest of Strawberry, and Emerald Ranch is sort of to the east of New Hanover. But don't you panic, I got us there, and we are going on our trail ride now. Anyways, I'm sorry for going off task. Your girl's gonna go ahead and tell you where we're actually going. So we begin our journey in Emerald Ranch and travel up to a Craig's Run, stay a night there, which is in the Grizzlies, and then we're traveling over to Fort Wallace in the Cumberland Forest, crossing the Dakota River, traveling down to Cumberland Falls, where Wallace Station is, staying another night, and then doing a overnight trail ride down to Flatneck Station, and we are going to be crossing the river again. So we'll be probably crossing the river almost at night. I don't know, it doesn't seem like that far, but we'll see. And then we make the final stretch to Emerald Ranch after Flatneck Station. And fun fact, we are actually near Little Creek River when we go to Wallace Station, so we are going to be near our little home. So I guess technically we're not in New Hanover the whole time, but you know, we're starting our journey there. Okay, time to get into the actual part of the video. So I woke up around 6 o'clock on the dot, and there was actually other horses hitched up where Harper was, because there were other riders going on the same trail ride, because this is being hosted publicly by Emerald Ranch. After giving Harper a quick brush down, I realized that those horses were facing away from us, and I was a little bit skeptical about leading Harper out because I was scared one of them might kick, but everything went perfectly fine and smooth, and we went out without issues. It was a foggy morning, but I could tell that the sun was starting to peek over the mountains, and I led Harper out into an open field so I could walk her around in a few circles and get her legs warmed a little bit before I got on. I actually chose a specific saddle for this trail ride because I usually just go with a Western saddle and my bitless bridle, but I went with more of an endurance saddle for this specific one because it's a longer distance and I didn't want to get saddle sore so easy, and this one has more back support, so I just think it'd be easier to sit in. After walking her in a few circles, I eventually checked the girth one last time and got on. Once I got a grip of those reins and patted her, I walked her in a few circles and we headed out. I was not actually going to show this clip, but I checked the road before I just went on, and as soon as I looked back at the road, Harper checked it, and she double checked it for me, and I just thought it was funny, so I added it in. I could tell that Harper was a little bit ahead of herself today, because her ears were very forward and she was at a faster paced walk, which is a good and a bad thing, because the good thing is we'll get there earlier. The bad thing is she could go a little too fast and trip herself. After double checking the train tracks and making sure that no train was coming, I went over them without issue, and we were officially out of Emerald Ranch. Here is a montage of the ride for you montage lovers. Okay, so I wanted to go ahead and stop the montage for just a second and talk about this guy on his wagon. I don't know if it's because he couldn't slow down the horses, but this guy, despite seeing me, sped past me and caused Harper to spook, and I almost flew off of her. She reared and started bolting and running in circles, and it was horrible. And the guy was very ignorant and yelled at us and didn't even try to stop to see if we were okay. It got to the point where I had to get off of her, and I was panicking. I was terrified. I thought she was going to buck me off, spook, and just run off, and I wouldn't be able to find her. Or one of us was going to get hurt. Harper was very agitated after this, but I was not going to blame her for it, because that guy's ignorance got the best of us. After hitching her up to a small tree that was near us, I gave her a minute to settle down before mounting back up and heading back up the hill. But once we got to the top of the hill, she was very agitated, but she did calm down, and I sort of just forgot about it. But just to give everybody a fair warning before they go on a trail ride, watch for people in wagons, because apparently wagon people are not very smart and are not very respectful either. But anyways, enough of me jibber jabbering, and we can go ahead and get back to the montage. So the guy that lends off the cabins for the trail riders to Emerald Ranch was actually there when I got there, and he was the vet check, and he did check over Harper, and she was fine, but he did not approve to be filmed, which is completely fine. I don't mind, because I'm not disrespectful. I'm going to respect people's boundaries, because I want to be liked. I gave Harper a brush over and a treat for being a good girl, and then I went and visited the guy's horse, and oh my goodness. This guy's horse was a gorgeous Cremello thoroughbred stallion. He was stunning. He was a little dusty, but you could tell under that little bit of dirt, he was gorgeous. And I asked the guy that lends the cabins what his name was, and I think he said Buell, if I'm pronouncing it right. So that is the first checkpoint done for this gorgeous journey. We did have one little issue with the wagon today, but that doesn't mean it's going to happen again, but I am going to be more cautious. But anyways, I hope you guys liked the video, and if you did, like the video and subscribe if you will, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye!